My whole issue with the 50-50 debate is that for most women, going 50 for 50 in a relationship is just a straight out scam. Because the thing is, studies have shown repeatedly that men don't go 50-50 when it comes to childcare or housework. That's majority still handled by women. And maybe it would be because, women are primarily homemakers or stay-at-home moms, but that's just not the truth, because majority of women, 70% of women, actually also work outside the home. So the thing is, women are working outside of the home just like men, but then are coming home and doing majority of the child work and the housework, and then also expected to contribute financially equally. And it just doesn't really make sense. Like, what are women getting out of that? It seems like guys are getting, 50% of the income taken care of, and then also coming home and not having to do anything at all, or having to do like a significantly reduced amount considering what their wives and girlfriends are doing. And that just strikes me as very unfair, because if you want a traditional wife, a traditional girlfriend, you also have to be a traditional provider. But they're not, and it just feels like such a chronically online take, because none of the men I've ever met in real life have ever had an argument about this. They've never told me oh yeah, I want you to take care of 50%. This is an online thing, and it's a scam. They're just trying to scam you into paying more and doing the same amount of work.
Don't you just love it when women use limited studies on housework chores to justify their BS? I mean, those studies revolve around dishes, cleaning, and cooking. I guess cutting the lawn, shoveling snow, home repairs, car maintenance, and working overtime obviously don't qualify. The funny thing is, it's not men, for the most part, that want to get married. It's women who overwhelmingly demand a championship wedding ring. What scam is she talking about when women are the ones wanting to get hitched? And as for what do women get out of it? Well, other than the divorce cash payout prizes with additional alimony and possible child support, the overwhelming amount of times men are the ones who pay the bulk of the bills. Also, we include women get the benefit of having a safety net when they aren't working. On top of all that, free handyman work and live in security. It's a damn good deal for women. For men, other than having children, there really isn't anything else. I mean, for the overall cost, men are basically overpaying for what they are getting. The funny thing is, thanks to the womanist movement, men are actually figuring this out. Marriage rates are currently at an abysmal 6 per 1,000 population in the U.S. And in 2020, it hit the lowest mark in recorded history at 5.1 per 1,000 population. Note, you don't hear men complaining about this. It's overwhelmingly those strong independent queens that are crying about not getting the championship wedding ring. Hell, why are you queens crying when you didn't even make the playoffs? Before we move on, I want to bring attention to the fact that 79% of my viewers are not subscribed to my channel. Come on, fam. You've seen my logo on other channels, and you're already here. Please hit that subscribe button and support the channel. It really helps out. Moving on.
Let's talk about going 50-50 in relationships. If you don't already know, I am. So I have two different viewpoints on this. But let me just tell you now, if I was to be with a man, I am expecting not to pay a goddamn thing. I'm expecting him to do what he has to do as a man, period. Now, if I'm with a woman, we're going to go 50-50. I'm not going to be putting those types of expectations on you at all. We are both women. So, it's going to be more of a balanced type of vibe. Call me, I don't care. But with a man, a real man, I'm not compromising, darling. I don't even know what that word means, okay? And what I mean by that is to be an actual provider. I want to be able to not have to worry. I don't want to have to really use my brain. I want to make my money and spend my money and also spend his money. And he's going to want to give me his money because I bring everything else to the table, darling.
When she says she brings everything else to the table, other than bills, what the hell does that entail? I mean, double standards. Her money is her money. His money is our money. Damn, there is a reason stereotypes exist. And that's because there is a good percentage of the time it applies. Now, for my younger viewers, if you are thinking she's bringing her buy side to the table, which means you are going to have that freak three-way fantasy going, finally, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that rarely happens when in a relationship with a woman who goes both ways. You have to understand that she is still going to expect monogamy, and bringing another girl into the bedroom isn't just difficult logistically, it's also difficult emotionally, even if she is bi. Think about it. If she gives women a financial pass she isn't willing to give her man, what makes you think she will be different in bedroom fun? This two-way street queen is basically a walking red flag that should be avoided at all costs. Like I said before, women only want equality when it suits them. But I still blame the beta imp chumps who let these harebrained queens get away with this nonsense. I honestly wouldn't blame a guy who is worth his salt that decides to put this queen in the for fun only category.
Whatever.
Moving on.
Those girls that talk about everything their boyfriends buy for them, like a Van Cleef necklace or a Tiffany ring, or my 4-year long-term ex, who was 5 years older than me, dating me when I was a broke college student. We went 50-50 on every single date after our first date. This man bought me a Fiji water bottle on our first date at the Getty Museum. And after that point, we split everything. I didn't think I'd ever go through this, and I've never gone through this until now. But this is our Venmo transaction history together. Like $7.70, I think on udon groceries is probably what we split. $12, $35 for sushi, $10 for lunch and coffee. This man could not just get the $20 bill. Oh my god, $9 for tacos, $11 for poke, $8.50 for Thai food. Yeah, I was insisting on paying him, but he could have just been like, no, it's on me. I literally got a part-time job at UCLA at the library so I could pay for our dates.
This man is a giant among mortals. King, wherever you are, I tip my hat to you, good sir. This is exactly how young men should be dating. Everything was equal. Why is this young queen complaining when she actually lived an equal relationship? Isn't it funny how women will demand a relationship that is 50-50, but then cry all about it as if they were some kind of victim on social media? Sweetheart, you were living the womanist dream of equality. Guess what? Your taco split everything down the line with his sausage. Note how women only want equality when it suits them. I have to ask this queen one key question that will more than likely defeat her argument. Were you obligated to agree to this 50-50 relationship?
No.
You know, ladies, accountability is a total witch. The more you demand and agree to it, the more accountable you have to be, as it's not forced on you. In fact, I would say her getting a job and paying her part more than likely gave her a sense of better money management, wouldn't you say?
Damn, skip me.
And he had a full-time career. I'm so mad. $6 for In-N-Out. $13 for pizza. Oh my god. Luckily here, I'm doing minus beer because I was 19. I could not drink alcohol, so he would just buy beer for himself because he was able to drink. And I would know in that moment, like, Joyce, don't pay for his drink. God, $7 breakfast burrito, $10 paddle boarding, $5 parking. Even in 2020, when we're dating, still it's happening. $10. Foods. Is this much okay? Like, I'm just guessing. I'm probably just... And I had no clue this was not, like, normal. I thought everyone and their boyfriends were all splitting 50-50 every single date. Like, what? I think this man has probably gotten me, like, a couple coffees just on him, and then maybe a couple birthday dinners. But we split everything. We split our anniversary dinner. We split getting just tacos in it. It was crazy to me. It's crazy. I'm really upset.
Why is she upset? This needs to be the norm among the entitled Western queens. I think this should be modeled and repeated. Ladies, what is so wrong about you paying for what you consume? Oh, let me guess. He should pay because he is a man. That is genderist and has no place in modern times. We don't discriminate based on what is in between your legs. Women will probably say he should pay because it's tradition. Well, patriarchy is tradition, and this is part of patriarchy. We don't oppress Western women by forcing them into traditional roles. Same goes for men. What are you queens gonna say now? If he doesn't pay the tab, he isn't showing he cares for you? Well, that goes both ways, doesn't it? This young queen showed how much she cared by paying her half. Ladies, you can try to pull dozens of excuses out of your butt all you want, but it doesn't matter as you are the ones who demanded equality. Stop complaining now that you are getting it. Moving on.
Splitting the bill on a first date. I've just received a message. She wanted my opinion on it. This is my opinion on it. It screams to me an inexperienced man. And the date would never happen. I just don't think that would ever happen to me because Men tell you, like, people show you who they are up front. Like, you ignored the signs. If you go on a date with a guy and he's asked you on the first date, even the second and third date, I would just be, it wouldn't happen. He asked you to split the bill. There was that, he showed you who he was, like, whether he's asked you to meet him, whether, like, he expects you to travel, whether he's, the date is convenient for him and not for you, whether telltale signs are there that tell you what type of man this is. It's you need to read the signs of who these men are. I guarantee, it could happen. I 99.9% think it will never happen, that I will go on a date and a guy will ask me, because I just don't, what would he, like, how would he get me on the date? What were you, like, if it just screams inexperience, like, what would you talk to me about? Like, what, you have no game, like, if that, it's just,
as the saying goes, when you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. That means when dating in the West, I highly recommend that first dates be at coffee shops or a walk in the park. Notice how this queen basically short circuits when she is held to equal standard and quickly says it's an inexperienced man. I beg to differ. Usually the wiser experienced men do not give women girlfriend treatment on a first date. Men should never lead with their wallets because these Western queens have been demanding equality for so long. It will be unfair not to give it to them. You see, paying for everything on a date is part of the patriarchy. It holds Western women back as it doesn't allow them to show how strong and independent they truly are. I am all about equality. I refuse to offend these queens by making it seem that they are weak and need a man to control their proud urges to pay their own way. No, sir, this gorilla will always allow women to prove she can do the same things a man can do. Don't attempt to mansplain those oppressive traditional gender roles by dropping your card there, gentlemen. How dare you assume she can't pay? You, sir, are part of the problem if you don't let these modern boss babes pay their half of the tab.
It's like, it's inconceivable. It's inconceivable to me that that is like a norm these days. It's like he would be emasculated and embarrassed, and I would be offended and embarrassed for him. That's how that would go. Just listen, like, to how he speaks to you, like the type of conversation. If he talks about, like, his lack of, men don't speak about money. They don't talk about money. Money is like, it's like a taboo topic. Men who have it don't speak of it, and even men who don't have it but are men, like, have dignity, they don't talk about money. They're never going to, there's no, like, when you leave to go to the toilet, that's when he pays the bill. You come back and you're like, oh, we need to get the bill, and he's like, no, I've got it. That's what happens. That's what happens. Like, or he'll say, I'm just going to nip to the toilet, and he'll go up and he'll pay, and you have no idea it even happened, and he's like, right, ready to go, and you're like, oh, like, thank you for dinner, or whatever. That's what happens on a real date.
How exactly can you be offended by someone not paying your half of the bill? Please, ladies, explain this to me in the comments. And save that BS of whoever invites pays. Because if you aren't going to mandate your girlfriends to pay for your lunch when they invite you, then don't even try to mandate a man. Also, he doesn't have to pay for your company. Those are called hall girls or sugar babies. Whom do that? If you aren't either one of those two, there is zero reason you should take any offense. I find it amazing that this queen only considers it a real date if the man pays. Does that mean it's not a real date if she doesn't put out? I know that most men with money don't have an issue paying for dinner and all expenses. This gorilla is not ignorant of that, but I will argue that a good percentage of men are wising up to the games women play, such as foodie dates. I am in the group whom believe women should not get girlfriend benefits if they aren't going to give a man boyfriend benefits. I am sorry, but I am a modern primate, ladies. There is absolutely no reason a man whom you barely know should be spending any high amount of money on you when there is zero benefits you have earned from him.
Squeeze me? Oh no, you dick.
I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.